Welcome to the course on advanced power electronics. So today we'll cover of course power quality. So we'll start power quality definition. So the definition of power quality given in the IEEE dictionary as power quality is the concept of powering and grounding sensitive equipment in a matter that is suitable to the operation of that equipment. So International Electrotechnical Commission IEC definition of power quality given in IEC 61430 states that characteristic of electricity at a given point on an electrical system evaluated against a set of reference technical parameters. The electromagnetic compatibility is related to power quality is used with International Electrotechnical Commission Standard 61001 states that the electromagnetic compatibility is the ability of an equipment or system to function satisfactorily in its electromagnetic environment without introducing intolerable electromagnetic disturbances to any thing in that environment. Recently, power quality referred to the ability of the electric utility to supply electric power without interruption. And in general, electric power quality refers to maintaining a near sinusoidal voltage to a bus at rated magnitude and rated frequency. So coming to like a power quality standards, so the IEEE 519 have a current distortion limit for general distribution system for 120 to 69 kilowatt, where the total demand distortion is 5% if the short circuit impedance is more than 5%, and if its short circuit impedance is quite low, less than 0.1%, then it can be tolerated up to 20%, so that the voltage typically TAD does not increase more than 1% at the point of common coupling. This IEC is showing current distortion limit for the more than 161 kV, where the is not allowed to more than to 3.75. Depending upon the source impedance. Then the voltage distortion limit, of course, have a better limit if it is 69 and below. No, its only limit is not less than 5%, and individual harmonic not more than 3%, and 69 to 161 kV, individual harmonic 1.5%, total harmonic distortion 2.5%, above 1.6 kV, individual harmonics also 1%, and not more than 1.5% the total harmonic distortion. High voltage system can be up to 2% TAD, where the cause is an HVDC terminal that will attenuate by the time it's tapped for the user. So this IEC 61000 maximum permissible harmonic limit for class D equipment of less than 16 ampere per phase. So it is related, of course, absolute value. It also depends on milliampere per watt, typically the individual harmonics, and maximum the total of with the limit of given here. And this is the typically your class 1 voltage distortion in public low voltage network class 1. So these are also depends on harmonic order on the typically the different percentage according to this standard. And this is typically voltage distortion for class 2 industrial system. The odd harmonics, even harmonics, and triple harmonics limits. Like this is typically for class 3 voltage distortion limit in industrial plant, given for again the voltage distortion for odd, even, and triplan. Now coming to power quality monitoring, that's become important that first you have to monitor the power quality, then you can say power quality is not good, or you have to limit the power quality. So these are the portable recorders by Fluke 1746 MUX 3-phase power quality loggers, then a reliable power quality recorder, and then the 3-phase power quality recorder. Then the made by Analytics LM5000 power analyzer and recorder, and then current recorder. So similarly the fixed recorder 3-phase power analyzer by Norma, and then reliable power meters, multi-point power recorders. Then the other record like Fluke 1735 3-phase power logger, and then Hioki PQ 3194 3-phase power quality analyzer, and then the Fluke E-Tracker MK2B energy monitor, and Fluke 434/5 3-phase power analyzer. Similarly, current clamp probe, current clamp meter, and then AC voltage detector audiovisual, and then phase sequence meter. So the continuous power quality monitoring detect, records, and leads to the prevention of power quality problem. And power quality monitoring provides a continuous health check of a facility power system. For example, harmonic interaction between the loads and the power conditioning equipment can be spotted high induced currents from the equipment startup can be detected, and transient from load switching can be seen. And power quality monitoring may be provided by the utility, the customers, or any other personnel such as energy auditor. The power quality monitors must detect and record the type of power quality problem, transient interruption, sag under voltage, swell over voltage, waveform distortion, voltage fluctuations, and frequency variations. The objective of power quality monitoring to quantify power quality phenomena at a particular location on electric power equipment, to diagnose incapability between the supply and the consumer load, to predict performance of the load equipment and select power quality mitigating system, to find the choice of monitoring equipment, the method of collecting data, etc. at particular location. And these are the typically a table of IEEE 519 parameters which can be determined from the acquired voltage and current data, starting from an asset transfer derating factor, then all the parameters which discuss zero sequence voltage, and so you can see all the total harmonic direction of current voltage and positive sequence, negative interharmonics, all those here like. So now coming to justification of for monitoring. So major reason for monitoring power quality is the financial damages produced by power quality events in the critical and sensitive equipment. So power quality problem and events may cause malfunctions, damages, process interruption, and other anomalies in the equipment and their operations. And power quality monitoring needs resources in terms of equipment, training, education, and of course time. Some of the following aspects may be used to convince the user for power quality monitoring: to find out the need for mitigation of power quality problem, to schedule preventive and predictive maintenance, to ensure the performance of equipment, to assess the sensitivity of equipment to power quality disturbances, to identify power quality events and problems, and to reduce the power losses in the process and distribution system, to reduce the loss in production, and to improve the equipment availability. Now coming to solution for power quality problem, starting with active shunt compensation. So power quality problems in distribution system, of course, voltage power quality is like a sag, voltage swell, voltage unbalance, voltage flicker, and voltage tangent. And current quality is like a power factor, voltage regulation, unbalanced current, excessive neutral current, harmonics current. And the solution is the custom power devices like a G-STATCOM, distribution static compensator, DVR, dynamic voltage controller, and UPQC, unified power quality conditioner. So current based power quality problem solution is G-STATCOM, and through technical alliance with Siemens USA, 22.9412 MVA G-STATCOM was installed in Hammond substation, as you can see in the photograph. So typically up to 6 externally switched capacitor or reactor bank can be controlled by pulse pure wave G-STATCOM. I mean, there is a G-STATCOM by another industry, pure wave. Then coming to state of art on G-STATCOM. So the development, I mean, the STATCOM are developed in varying configuration with advanced control strategy with devices, improved sensor technology like Hall effect current sensor and voltage sensors, and microelectronics revolution is responsible for like microcontroller and digital signal processors. So these are of course some of the digital signal processors like DSpace Microlabs 1.2, in which you really execute the algorithm. Then you have a DSP and you have a voltage source converter, which are used for realizing the G-STATCOM. Now coming to classification of G-STATCOM, and first classification is on converter type, whether you are using current source inverter bridge structure or voltage source converter bridge structure, and topology is used for of transformer and various arrangement of voltage source converter, and the number of phases: 2 wire single phase, 3 wire 3 phase system, and 4 wire 3 phase system. Now converter based classification, and typical example is like a current fed type of G-STATCOM. So here we are using a current source converter, and current source converter of course you need the, because it will be generating pendulum current, so you need a capacitor to work as a filter for lower order harmonics. And on DC link you need energy storage device, so here you need the inductor as energy storage device. So because of this reason this topology is not prefigured, because on DC link you need the inductor, it is costly, bulky, and lossy. On AC side you need the extra capacitor. Moreover, I mean, usually the self-commutating devices, especially IGBT, don't have a reverse voltage blocking ability. So you use series diode. So when it conducts, you have a losses of both diode as well as your IGBT. So the losses are more, and you need the additional capacitor filter as well as the energy storage element as an inductor, which is costly, noisy, and vibration and lossy. So this is typical voltage pair type. So in this case, of course, you have interfacing inductor which can be realized with help of transformer, leakage inductance of transformer, and you have consumer load to be compensated, and then we have, of course, IGBT with interpeller diode and DC link capacitor. So it works like very light electrolytic capacitor, cheaper capacitor used here. And our AC side, use the inductor which can be a part of the even interfacing transformer if you are really saving the voltage by leakage reactance. Now coming to supply based classification. Supply based classification, we might have like a 2-wire single phase current source converter. So how this current source converter in 2-wire single phase system looks like as a D-STATCOM. So here we use on DC link and your inductor, energy storage device. On AC side, of course, we use the IGBT with series diode to take a reverse voltage blocking capability, because IGBT don't have a reverse voltage blocking capability, so diode takes the reverse voltage blocking capability, and you have to use the capacitor for the output filter. So it becomes like current source based 2-wire D-STATCOM. Similarly, we have a 2-wire D-STATCOM with voltage source converter. So here you can see here, I mean, we have a very, you can call it the very less lossy DC link capacitor CD, and then we have a very small inductor as a filter, which can be even realized with the help of transformer if required, and with CR it has a like a it works as a ripple filter like, and you can generate from proper approach control the compensating current with the help of this. What really load needs locally, it can be supplied locally. You have to burden the grid from that like. So coming to the topology for 3-phase 3-wire. So we have 3-phase like a non-isolar topology, like 3 leg, 2 leg with the split capacitor, and isolar topology 3 single phase, then star delta transformer with 3 leg, and then star delta transformer with 2 leg voltage source converter. So this is the first like a 3 leg voltage source converter. And so you have a 3 leg of IGBT module, and you have a interfacing inductor. At the point of common coupling, you have RC filter which takes care of the harmonic generated due to the switching of the devices of this converter like. Then you have a 3-phase 3-wire D-STATCOM here, where you are using a midpoint and 4 devices only. So it cannot be scale up for very large, you can call it the current rating. It is only because the 1-phase current goes through the typically through the midpoint capacitor. So capacitor have a limit that part maximum value of current you can allow the AC current, because these are normally electrolyte capacitors. Then you have typically the isolar topology but 3 single phase voltage source converter. This topology considered quite important because you are keeping a power electronics cost maybe at low voltage, and it works like as a like a shunt compensator. And so that's really allow the voltage proper voltage matching. And apart from in single phase edge bridge, there is an advantage that your ripple voltage frequency can be just double of switching frequency with proper control. So that reduces the requirement of inductor as far as ripple current is concerned. And apart from that, the ripple filter at the point of common avoid the switching noise. Of course, here switching noise is less because of you are using typically the transformer in between like. And this is typically again with isolar topology that you have a star delta and we have a 3 leg. This topology also quite popular because you are using, of course, with appropriate voltage, or you are designing power electronics low voltage and your power circuit is quite high voltage. So in that case, this is quite like. And this then again isolate also with 2 leg. Again, midpoint is taken as a return path to the one particular phase. Like. So now coming to 3-phase 4-wire topology, we have a like a non-isolated, starting 4 leg, then 3 leg with the split capacitor, and 3 leg with DC, 3 DC capacitors, then 2 leg voltage source converter with the your zigzag, star delta, hexa, star hexagon, T connection, Scott connection, star polygon. The typically which can probably provide them, and then 3-phase 3 leg voltage source converter like with the zigzag for neutral, star delta, star hexagon, T connected, Scott connector, and star polygon. Then we have isolar topology like 3-phase 3 single phase VSC, then 3 leg VSC with a zigzag transformer, then star delta, star hexagon, T connector transformer, then Scott connector transformer, then star delta, star polygon transformer. Then 2 leg voltage source converter with zigzag transformer, then star delta transformer, then star hexagon, T connected transformer, Scott connected transformer, and then star polygon transformer. So you have a number of topology like. So this is the 3-phase 4-wire topology with the simplest configuration with the ripple filter, and you have a 3-phase 4 leg. So 3 legs are used for 3-phase compensation, and the 4th leg is used for neutral current compensation. So whatever the load needs the neutral current, that is supplied by locally by this converter one additional leg, and the supply neutral current is 0 leg, along with the other compensation. And this is 3 single phase with the isolated. So here also again HB is used, and that's really quite good in a sense ki you can have your unipolar switching and which gives the pulse frequency double, and the size of the filter can be reduced. Like this 3-phase bridge neutral, use the midpoint of the capacitor for neutral current compensation. Remaining 3 phases we have 3 lag. Similarly, we have a typically for neutral current compensation we have a zigzag connection, and 3-phase 3-wire takes the for 3 other 3 conductor. Similarly, we have another connection for neutral compensation of the transformer, where we use the star delta. Delta is provided for having a circulating current locally, and then the 3-phase 3-wire system. So it really makes the bipolar compensation the neutral current 0. Then 3-phase 3-leg VSC with T connected transformer. So the transformer neutral is able to compensate for the neutral current of the supply by supplying the load neutral current locally. Then the 3-phase 3-leg with the star hexagon. So here also we star provide, but you need the closed path. So hexagon of the secondary provides the closed path for the circulating the harmonic, so that your neutral point is stable. Then the T connected transformer for neutral current compensation, 3-leg voltage source converter used for the compensation. So coming to like a principle of operation of D-STATCOM. So the main objective is the mitigation of current based power quality problem like reactive power, unbalanced currents, neutral current, harmonic currents, flux, and typically the fluctuation. So it results in sinusoidal balance current in the supply at DC bus voltage regulation. With its DC bus voltage regulation, in general, a D-STATCOM has the voltage source converter connected to DC bus, and AC sides of it is connected to shunt, normally connected across the consumer load or across the point of coupling. So the voltage source converter uses a pulse width modulation control, therefore it requires a small ripple filter to mitigate switching voltage ripple. So it also requires Hall effect voltage and current sensor for feedback signal. A digital signal processor like a DSpace is used to implement the required control algorithm to generate the getting signal for the solid state devices of voltage source converter of D-STATCOM. So the voltage source converter is normally controlled in PWM current control mode to inject the appropriate current in parallel in the system. Another requirement is like a DC bus capacitor, an AC inductor, injection of an isolation transformer, and a small passive filter. And these are typically the hardware prototype, and these are voltage sensor PCB current typically as a blow up the remaining circuit of sensing and conditioning circuit so that you can connect to ADC. Then you have a current sensor hardware PCB, and this is the interfacing of current sensor. You can clearly see how the current sensor works properly. So coming to designing of D-STATCOM, so taking case of 3-phase 3-leg voltage source converter for D-STATCOM. So the selection requirement a DC bus capacitor and its voltage, an AC interacting inductor, injection and isolation transformer, a small passive filter, etc. So now coming to design parameters of D-STATCOM. The D-STATCOM is designed for compensating a reactive power of 50 kVA with a safety factor of 0.1 in a 415 volt 50 Hz 3-phase distribution system. So D-STATCOM rating is SDST equal to 50 kVA, and AC line voltage is 50 Hz. VSP is VLL by root 3, that 239.6 volt. Safety factor is 1.1. So D-STATCOM is 1.1 into SDST upon root 3 VLL, and putting a value it comes 76.516 ampere. So allowable voltage, permissible voltage ripple at the DC link delta VDC is 5%, the VDC, allowing the ripple in the D-STATCOM current. So ripple current is ICRPP, 10% of the D-STATCOM, and ICR is 10% of ID STATCOM, that is equal to 7.652 ampere. So selection of DC link voltage VDC equal to root 2 VLL upon root 3 into M, and the putting the value, the VDC comes 77.692. So here the M is the modulation index and is considered as 1. Thus VDC is obtained as 667.694 for a VLL of 415 AC voltage network, and it is selected 700 volt. Now coming to selection of DC capacitor, so from energy balance we say 0.5 into CDC in bracket VDC square minus VDC 1 square equal to K1 3 VSP into AT into T, where solving this CDC comes around 8,288.809 microfarad. Here the VDC is nominal DC link voltage, which is equal to the reference DC voltage, and VDC1 is the maximum voltage level of the DC bus. A is the overloading factor, VSP is the phase voltage, IDST is the STATCOM phase current, and T is the time by which the DC bus voltage is to be recovered. The calculated value of CDC 8,288.809 microfarad, and it is selected as 9,000 microfarad. And coming to like a selection of an AC inductor, so LR equal to root 3 M VDC divided by 12 AF SICR PP. So from this LCR comes around putting a value, your 6.113 millihenry. So here M is the modulation index and A is the voltage factor, considering ICRPP at 10%, F is 1.8 kilos, M equal to 1, VDC 700 volt for VL 415 volt, and A equal to 1.2. Value of LR is calculated to be 6.13, and thus is selected 7 millihenry. Now coming to selection of ripple filter, to filter out the noise from the voltage at PCC, the time constant RFCF must be much less than your TS, considering RFCF is equal to TS upon 10. So RF is a ripple filter and resistance, CR is the ripple filter capacitance, and T is the TS is the switching time. So ripple filter impedance is ZF equal to under root RF square plus 1 upon omega CF square under root of that, and hence the omega is the frequency in radian per second for fundamental frequency of 50 Hz. ZF, putting a value, ZF will be your 578.832, and for switching frequency of 1.8 kHz, ZR equal to 10.005. So coming to considering the switching frequency equal to 1.58, the ripple filter parameters are selected. RF equal to 10 ohm and CF equal to 5.5 microfarad. The impedance offered by the switching frequency is 10 ohm, and impedance offered by fundamental frequency is 570.83 ohm, which is sufficiently large and hence the ripple filter draws negligible fundamental frequency current. Coming to losses in ripple filter, the total loss in ripple filter PLF equal to 3 I square RF in watt, and here the I is equal to VSP upon ZF. So losses typically fundamental frequency 50 Hz, ZF equal to 578.832 ohm. So I becomes typically putting a value 0.414, and loss becomes 3 into 0.414 square into 10, so it becomes 5.14 watt irrespective of the rating. Now coming to selection of voltage rating of solid state switches, so VSW equal to VDC plus VD. VD is the 10% overshoot in the DC link voltage under dynamic condition. So VS equal to VSW equal to VDC plus VD equal to VDC plus 0.1 of VDC, and VSW becomes 70 plus 7, 700 plus 70, that's 770 volt. So the voltage rating of the switch is calculated 770 volt. With the appropriate safety factor, 1200 volt IGBT are selected for the VSC used in STATCOM. Now coming to selection of rating, so ICSW equal to 1.25 bracket ID STATCOM peak to plus ICR peak to peak, and putting the value, it comes like a ICR peak to peak is 0.1, 10% of D STATCOM current, so it comes 7.652 ampere. and IDST typically route to IDST, that becomes 108.21 ampere, and IS2 equal to 1.25 plus 7.652 plus 108.21 bracket close, it becomes 144.828 watt. So the current rating of the switch is calculated as 144.828, and thus the solid state switch of the VSC is selected with the appropriate rating 1200 volt and 300 ampere. So coming to like a design of 3-phase 4-wire DSTATCOM, the 4 lag voltage source converter is shown in the circuit. The neutral current compensation is provided by the typically 4th lag. So now coming to design parameter of DSTATCOM, the STATCOM designed for compensating a reactive power of 50 kVA with a safety factor of 0.1 in a 415 volt 50 Hz 3-phase distribution, and DSTATCOM rating as DST equal to 50 kVA, and AC line voltage VLL equal to 415 at 50 Hz, VSP equal to VLL by root 3, that's 239.6 volt. Safety factor is 1.1. So ISDST 1.1 as DST into root 2 VLL, putting a value, it comes 76.516 ampere. Although percentage voltage ripple at DC link delta VDC equal to 5% of VDC, allowing the voltage ripple in DSTATCOM current, so 10% of this, so that becomes 10% of DSTATCOM, that is 7.652 ampere. And VDC to root 2 of VLL upon root 3 M, putting a value, comes 677.692. So hence the M is the modulation index and is considered unity, and thus the VDC is obtained as 677.694 VLL 415 distribution network, hence it is selected as 700 volt. Now coming to CDC, ID I0 upon 2 omega VD delta VDC, so putting a value, it comes 3572.847 microfarad. So here I0 is the current capacitor current, W0 is the angular frequency, and VD peak to peak is the ripple in the capacitor voltage, and CDC is obtained 3572.847 microfarad. Thus the capacitance is chosen to be 4700 microfarad. Now coming to 4-phase lag, LR equal to root 3 V M VDC upon VDC, and divide by 12 AFFS I CR ripple current peak to peak. The putting value, they get LR equal to 6.113 millihenry, and M is the modulation index, A is the co-loading factor. Considering CR 10%, you can see FC 1.8 kHz, M equal to 1, VDC 700 volt for your VL equal to 415, and A equal to 2. The value of the LR calculated to be 6.113 millihenry. Thus the inductor of 700 milli is selected. For neutral lag, LRM equal to MVDC upon root 3 A FS ICR, and putting the value, we get LRN equal to 8.151 millihenry. The value of LM is calculated 8.151 millihenry. Thus the inductor of 9 millihenry is selected. Now coming to selection of ripple filter. To filter out the noise from the voltage at PCC, the time constant RF CF is much lesser than TS, considering RF CF equal to TS by 10. So RS is the ripple filter resistance, CF is the filter capacitance, TS is the switching time. The ripple filter impedance ZF equal to under root RF square plus 1 omega CF square root of total, and where the omega is the frequency. For fundamental frequency of equal to 50 Hz, ZR equal to putting a value, come 578.832, and for switching frequency of 1.8 kHz, they get the ZF equal to, putting the value, it comes 18.993 ohm. Now selection of ripple filter, considering the switching frequency Fs equal to 1.8 kHz, the ripple filter parameters are like RF equal to 10 and CF equal to 5.5. The impedance offered for the switching frequency is 10 ohm, and the impedance offered to fundamental frequency is 578.83, which is sufficiently large, and hence the ripple filter draws negligible fundamental frequency current, and losses in ripple filter, total loss in the ripple filter PLF equal to PL 3 into I square RF equal to, where the I equal to typically VSP upon ZF, and the losses at fundamental frequency of 50 Hz, ZF equal to 578.83 ohm, and I equal to, putting a value, 239 divided by 7, it comes 0.414 ampere, and PLF equal to 3 into I.141 square plus into 10, that comes 5.14 watt. And selection of voltage rating oscillator, so Vs equal W equal to VSDC plus VD. VD is 10% overshooting distance, so putting a value VSW is VDC plus VD. So putting a value of this, it comes like a 770 volt. So the voltage rating of the switch is calculated to 770 volt. So with the appropriate safety factor, 1200 volt IGBT are selected for the VSC using the DigitalCom. Now coming to current rating selection, ISW equal to 1.25 in bracket ICR plus ID STATCOM. So putting value, it comes 7.652 typically ampere, and the switch current is typically the sum of the both, so it comes 144.28 28 ampere. So current rating of switch is calculated 144, and then the solid state switch of for VSC is selected with the next level high rating of 1200 volt and 300 ampere. So this is typically three-phase design of three-phase 4-wire DigitalCom with the single-phase 3 single-phase voltage source converter based DigitalCom. So design parameters of DigitalCom. DigitalCom is designed for a compensating a reactive power of 50 kVA with a safety factor of 0.1 in a 415 volt 50 Hz three-phase distribution. DigitalCom rating SW is 50 kW 50 kVA. AC line voltage for 50 Hz as VSP for VLL upon root 3, root 39.6 and safety factor 1.1. So the ID STATCOM is 1.1, SDST upon root 3 VLL. So that comes 76.516 ampere. So allowable percentage voltage ripple at DC link delta VD 5% of the VDC, allowing the ripple in DigitalCom is 10% of DigitalCom. So ICR equal to 10%, that is 7.652 ampere. So VDC equal to root 2 VSP upon M. So putting a value, it comes to typically 338.846 volt. So where M is the modulation index and is considered as 1, and V is the AC output voltage per phase of the DigitalCom. So the obtained value of VDC is 338 volt for VLL 415, and it's selected 360 volt. So CDC I0 upon 2 omega delta VDC. So where I0 is SF, so it's come 152.778 and the safety factor is 1.1. Delta VD equal to 5% of this, so it comes 18 volt, and CDC putting a value, it comes 13,508.521 microfarad. So I0 is hence the I0 is the capacitor current, omega is the angular frequency, and VDC peak to peak is the ripple in capacitor voltage, and CDC is obtained as 13,508.521 microfarad. Thus the capacitance is chosen to be 14,000 microfarad. And LR equal to MVDC upon 4 AF SL CRR PL PP. So LR from this putting a value, it comes 5.445 millihenry. So M is the modulation index and is the already. So considering the ICR PP equal to 10%, F is equal to 1.5 kilohertz, M equal to 1, VDC 360, for VLL of 415, and A equal to 1.2. The value of LR is calculated to be 5.445 millihenry, thus the inductor of 6 millihenry is selected. Now coming to control of DigitalCom. So we have a time-based control algorithm like a unit template or PI-based controller based theory, power balance theory, ICOSFAL algorithm, current synchronous detection method, instance reactive power theory, also known PQ theory or alpha beta theory, synchronous reference frame theory, also known DQ theory, instance symmetrical component ISC theory, single phase PQ theory, single phase DQ theory, and nodal current, typically nodal network theory, with derived LMS based line algorithm, and then NS phase loop top based control algorithm, conductance based control algorithm, instantaneous is VSA plus I into ILA plus VSB plus into ILVI VSC ILC equal to LDC and plus VLAC. So Q is equal to 1 by root 3 VSA minus VSB into ILSC plus VSB minus VSC ILA, and then VSC minus VSA ILB equal to QLDC plus QLAC. So from these instantaneous active power and reactive power of the load, the fundamental component of active power QLDC and reactive power of load QL are extracted using the LPF low pass filter. The amplitude of fundamental active power component ILPDC and reactive power component the load current is ILPDC equal to 2 by 3 PLDC upon PSP, and ILQDC equal to 2 by 3 QLDC upon BSP. And the amplitude of fundamental active power and reactive power component. So ISP equal to I loss plus ILPD, ISQ equal to IQ STATCOM minus IL QDC, and where VD equal to VDC star minus VDC, and I loss equal to I loss N plus KPD bracket VDC N plus minus VDC minus N, and plus KI VDC N plus 1, and VSP equal to N equal to VSP star minus VSP. So IQ STATCOM N plus 1 equal to IQ STATCOM KPD ISP N plus 1 minus SP KIT VSP N plus 1. So estimation of active power and reactive power component of the plant supply current. So ISAP equal to ISPP star USA plus ISP star equal to ISP star USP, ISC star to ISPP into USC, and ISAQ star ISPQ into USAQ plus ISBQ star equal to ISPQ star into USBQ, ICSCP star ISPQ into US SCQ. The estimation of reference current ISA star equal to ISAP star plus ISAQ star, ISB star equal to ISB plus ISB star, and IC star equal to ICP star plus ICQ star. And these current are fed to the hysteretic control of the sense current. Now coming to I cos phi is control with him. Amplitude of active power component current ILPA of the phase A is extracted from the fundamental component of load current ILFA achieved after filtering at the zero crossing of the in phase unit template cos phi A equal to US of the three phase voltage. The zero crossing detector and sample and hold logics are used to extract the ILPA amplitude of filter load current at the zero crossing of corresponding in phase and unit template. So similarly, other two phases B and C, amplitude of active power component ILPB and ILC are extracted. The amplitude of reactive component of load current ILQ of phase A extracted from the fundamental component of load current achieved after filtering and the zero crossing of the quadrature unit template, that is sin phi Q equal to US AQ. A zero crossing detector, a sample and logic are used to extract the ILQA amplitude of filter current at the zero crossing of the corresponding quadrature phase unit template. And similarly, the amplitude of reactive power component of phase B ILBQ and phase C ILQDC QC are also estimated. And this is the typical flow chart. With the DC voltage we get active component, and giving a load current with the second filter, then the sample and hold, we are able to get active component, reactive component for phase A, B, C, and then we get all the three. We typically take average to get from per phase basis, and then we use low pass filter so that we get the fundamental component and reactive component, which we multiply the template, phase template and quadrature template generated by voltage, and get the switching signal corresponding to current control. This is the algorithm. So we get similarly the phase voltage from line voltage, then peak value, then the template, and then from template we get the quadrature template. And then we get typically the average component of active component, reactive component. Then we get use the typically the your amplitude voltage control with the loss component for active DC link voltage control, and for AC voltage control we have a quadrature axis component PI controller. So these are the PI control equation. Then we get the multiplication of the amplitude of active component with the template, phase template, and quadrature component we get from amplitude of quadrature component multiplied the quadrature template, and then we get the total reference current sum of the active component and reactive component of all the three phases, and then we compare these reference current, supply current with the feedback current, and give the switching signal for the D STATCOM. And these are typically the flow chart for current synchronous detection algorithm. So we sense the load current, we sense the PCC voltage, from which we get the active and reactive power. Using low pass filter we get the DC component, fundamental active reactive power. Then we have a DC link voltage control, again loss component, get the total amplitude of this power. Similarly for reactive power we have a typically the load reactive power, and the DC AC voltage control we get another component that we subtract, and we get the how much D STATCOM had on the supply you have to supply, that we get here. And sensing having both amplitude and the template, what we get from here at phase N, we get the total supply current, which compare with the sense current and get the gate pendulum signal. And these are the algorithm that we from phase voltage we get the line voltage, we get the phase voltage, then we get typically the fundamental voltage, positive sequence fundamental voltage from these three voltage. Then we get amplitude as well as the typically the quadrature voltage. Then we get the multiplication of this positive sequence and the load component, so we get the AC and DC power. Similarly for reactive power also, active and reactive power, which we filter it and we take a loss component for active power and voltage regulation for reactive power. And then from this active and reactive power we are able to get a calculation of this active component of reference current of supply and then the quadrature component of supply current reference. From this relation of giving calculating power and voltage, then we are able to estimate typically the both components. We get the supply current ISA star FG star step, and then we send it to PCI controller along with the sense current. We get for pendulum control. This is again instance reactive power theory, but theory algorithm that we control the reaching voltage similar to other algorithm that gives the loss component. Then from your Clark transformation we convert three-phase voltage and load current into V alpha V beta, I alpha I beta. From that we get the active and reactive power. We filter it to get fundamental active power, a DC component, and with the loss component we get the total active component of supply, what supply have to feed, and from reactive power this load reactive power we subtract from voltage regulation reactive power, and remaining it comes from typically from the supply side typically, and we get the then three-phase reference current and having a feedback of the sense current, we are able to get current controller getting signal. Then this is the algorithm step that from line voltage we get the phase voltage, and from this phase voltage we get P alpha V beta. Similarly for your load current we get I alpha I beta, then from which we get the active and reactive power which have AC and DC component. We filter it to get DC component, then we get total active power, loss plus load active power, and then typically voltage regulation minus the load reactive power. We get the reference active power to be on the grid side, and from this is the PI control equation for active power and reactive power, and from this active and reactive power we are able to get reference supply current from using P alpha V beta as from this equation. And then this is the flow chart, we have a current control. So this is the of course the synchronous reference frame theory algorithm. So here again DC link voltage control. Similarly after DC link voltage is passed through low pass filter and put PI control, get the loss component, and then from the load current and from template which we are getting from PLL we get the ILD ILQ fundamental, and from which low pass filter we get the DC component. So total active power component and reactive power. From voltage PI controller we get the another component. So from this we get the reactive current to be in the supply system, and taking typically the template we are able to get a three-phase grid current, taking a feedback current using current control to give a switching signal voltage source converter acting as a discharge. These are the of course the step of SRF. So from load current we calculate the DQ component of load current, and then we filter them and then we get the AC and DC component, so we filter them, and to get fundamental low pass filter we use. Similarly we have another, we get the total amplitude loss component plus the load component. Similarly Q axis voltage regulation minus load component, and this is the PI control for getting a loss component and voltage regulation reactive. Then from this ID IQ star we get the three-phase reference supply current, and then with the feedback current we put the current controller. So coming to IST, instance symmetrical component theory based control algorithm, the product of instance PCC voltage, VSA, VSP and load current give the instance power. Similarly instance your load power and AC component and DC component. So DC component we separate out by using low pass filter, and this is a flow chart how we get it. So we sense load current, then supply voltage, so we calculate the active power as well as that is AC voltage control, and from which we are able to get three-phase reference current, and with the feedback current we are able to provide the current switching signal to your inverter feeding working as discharge. These are some steps. So from line voltage we calculate phase voltage, then we calculate amplitude, then we calculate load power, from which we take low pass filter the fundamental active power. Similarly we regulate the typically from the voltage regulation, AC voltage regulation we get the angle, and from this angle beta, we are able to get typically power relation between power factor. Then we are able to get from beta and the line voltage, and typically from the power we are able to get three-phase supply reference current multiplied the taking a feedback current, we are able to have current control of PSA. Now coming to single phase PQ theory based control with so any single phase can be analyzed as a two-phase system by giving a pipe a two lag or lead to a PCC voltage and currents and analyzed in as a independent two-phase. The PCC voltage and currents are considered as a quantity in alpha axis where pi by 2 lead axis and currents are considered beta axis. So these are typically the total flow chart. We have a regulation of DC link voltage, which we have active loss component, and from the sense voltage and the load current, sense load current, we are able to get active and reactive power of the three phases. Then we take average to get fundamental active and reactive power, and from which we calculate the active and reactive power component from the template and add together to get a three-phase supply reference current ISA star, SB star star, and sensing the grid current, we are able to have a current control of voltage converter for providing these components. And this, of course, algorithm for single phase PQ theory. So from voltage, typically we get V alpha V beta. Similarly for current also we get alpha beta, from which we get the typically the active power of load three phases. Then your reactive power also three phases, and then we get sum of all the three to get the total active power. From low pass filter we separate the fundamental. Similarly for reactive power, and then we have a total power loss plus load reactive active powers. Similarly for voltage regulation, reactive power for voltage regulation minus the load, we get the net reactive power on the supply. So these are the two PI control equations to get your loss component and for reactive power component. Then from this we get the three-phase reference supply current and feedback current. We have a current control. Now coming to single phase DQ theory based control, it is simple to design controller for three-phase system in a synchronous rotating reference frame because of all varying signals of the system become DC quantity and time invariant. In case of three-phase system, initially three-phase voltage or current signal in ABC reference are transformed to stationary frame alpha beta and then synchronous rotating reference frame. However, to transform a signal into stationary alpha beta, at least two phases are needed. So here pseudo second phase for arbitrary signal is created by 90-degree lag or original signal. The original signal represents the component and lag 90-degree lag is the beta component of stationary reference frame. And these are typically single phase DQ theory. We sense the voltage, we sense the current, and we get the DQ component of current as well as the voltage from the phase, and then from current we sum up and then use low pass filter, then divide by 3 to 4 get per phase. Similarly, even for DC link voltage count, similarly we get for reactive power also voltage regulation, then load take a difference, and then we get amplitude of active component reactive and multiply the template. The phase and quadrature template, we get the phase component, quadrature component of supply current, which we compare with the reference current and sense current. So we get typically the switching signal for the. These are the typically the algorithmic steps. Line voltage we calculate phase voltage, then we calculate amplitude of phase voltage, and template phase template, quadrature template. Then from this we calculate the typically similarly for current also, and we get able to get from these current we are able to get DQ current for all three phases. Then we add all three to get the fundamental active and reactive current for the load, and then we get the typically the total let's say amplitude of per phase active component current, reactive component, where PI control output is given here for reactive and active component, and then we add both your phase component, quadrature component into supply current, and we take a sense typically the supply current and a current controller. And this is the flow chart of neural network based on a line algorithm. So from load current, we are able to extract the fundamental load current, and then we have a DC link voltage control, AC voltage control, which we add and subtract correspondingly. We get the supply current amplitude multiplied the phase, we get the three phase reference supply current. Sensing the supply current can give a current control to give the switching signal. And these are the steps. So from line voltage we calculate the phase voltage, we calculate amplitude and template for phase template and quadrature template. Then we get the weight corresponding to all three active component, reactive component for load current and the template. And then this is for all three phase we get the loss component, and three phase your template for active component, deactive one, and then we get the typically total weight multiplied the page template and quadrature template, and then add both the component for supply current ISA star is beta and compare with the page, typically the feedback sense current, and give a current controller for the input. Now coming to modeling, simulation and performance of the STATCOM. So these are the singular based performance of synchronous reference control 3-phase voltage source in zero voltage regulation mode at varying load. So even unbalanced load also supply current are balanced and sinusoidal, and DC link voltage also regulated, AC voltage also regulated. This is the performance at for unity power factor at varying load. You can see unbalanced load also, load compensation is provided here. You can see the AC your DC link voltage. Similarly for load balancing, and power factor mode, so load balancing is shown as well as power factor is also shown here, and neutral current compensation provided because it's 3-phase pole lag. So inverter feeds just exactly opposite of the load, so that the supply neutral current is made zero. This is the case for 4-wire lag with a zero voltage regulation mode. So you are able to get load balancing as well as the zero voltage regulation, and then you are able to get a typically supply voltage as well as DC voltage, whether they are regulated or not. This is the case of your three single phase voltage source converter based load balancing in power factor correction. So you can clearly see how the load is balanced, and typically you get the even the load balancing also in this case, but you get the second armature on DC link. This is the case for load balancing in zero voltage regulation mode in single phase voltage source converter. Now coming to solution to power quality problem for active series compensation voltage based. So introduction is voltage based power quality problems in distribution system are like a typically voltage sag, voltage swell, voltage unbalance, voltage peaker, voltage tangent, voltage notches, voltage fluctuation, waveform distortion, voltage unbalance, and harmonics. So solution is the active series compensator or dynamic voltage restorer or solid state series compensator. So they inject the equal and opposite voltage of disturbance in series synchronous with the AC means to protect and to provide the clean regulated voltage waveform across the critical load. Now this is typically a dynamic voltage restorer made by industry, and by pure sine wave dynamic voltage pure wave dynamic voltage restorer installed in the field. Then dynamic voltage restorer, how they are installed at different places. So now it's a mature technology as far as top part concern on DVR. To eliminate the voltage spike, the eliminate voltage sag, then to eliminate voltage swell, then to eliminate voltage notches, then to eliminate voltage harmonics, then to regulate the thermal voltage, to suppress the voltage flicker, and to mitigate the voltage unbalance in a 3-phase system. Now coming to development, they are developed in varying configuration, then with the advanced control technique with the different solid state device and with improved sensor technology using Hall effect voltage sensor and microelectronic simulation using DSP and microcontroller. So you can see how sensor looks like and DSP looks like. So coming to classification of active series compensation. So converter says, you can use the current source bridge converter, or you can use the voltage source converter bridge structure. And topology wise, you can use half bridge, full bridge, and transformer less configuration. The number of phases like 2-wire, single phase, 3-phase, 3-wire system, 3-phase, 4-wire system. Now converter based classification, you can see how the current source converter is used for series compensation through injection transformer. So the current source converter are considered sufficiently reliable but have high losses and require a value of parallel AC capacitor. They cannot be used in multi-level or multi-step modes to improve the performance in a high rating. So this is typically a single phase DVR dynamic voltage restorer, where the voltage source converter is used to inject the right voltage in series with the line. So they are lighter, cheaper, and expandable to multi-level and multi-step version to enhance the performance with lower switching frequency, and it is more popular in UPS based application. Now coming to topology based classification, so we have here the hybrid topology of voltage source converter for single phase DVR, as you can see here. Then you have a full bridge topology of single phase DVR and 3-phase 3-wire DVR. Then coming supply system based classification. Then you have a 2-wire current source converter. Then you have a 2-wire DVR dynamic voltage restorer. And the 3-phase 3-wire, you have a rectifier support left shunt and right shunt with 3-phase VSC leg VSC, 2 leg VSC, similarly for right shunt 2 leg, 2 single phase, 3 leg VSC and 2 leg voltage. So then other side is the battery supported like 3 single phase, 3 leg VSC or 2 leg VSC, and then you have a capacitor supported. I mean, you have a 3 single phase with voltage source converter, 3 leg voltage source converter, and 2 leg voltage source converter. In the typical circuit of your left hand side rectifier supported DVR connected to 3 leg voltage source converter. Here, of course, you should get active power to maintain DC link voltage for functioning of PWM for this series voltage injection by DVR. This is another configuration typically with midpoint. Then 3 single phase, I mean typically to the rectifier regulate the voltage. Then you have a typically right hand side, we have a rectifier supported, then midpoint rectifier supported, then 3 single phase rectifier supported. Then we have a typically battery supported DVR with a DC converter, 3 leg, 2 leg voltage source converter with battery support, then typically 3 single phase with battery support. And this is typically capacitor supported DVR, 3 leg voltage source converter. So we have a capacitor, but there is a limitation that you cannot have a power to feed to change the angle. So you have to, because it does not have too much energy or power on DC link, so you have to have a you can call it injection of at either harmonics voltage or the voltage at quadrature axis, so that you don't need reactive power to support the midpoint. This is 3 single phase capacitor support. So, and this is battery supported on DC link with a 3 leg voltage source converter. So this is your capacitor supported DVR connected system for the. So here you can just see what the limit is. You can regulate the voltage by increasing the voltage. You can decrease the voltage. This is the way how you can regulate the voltage as well as you can compensate for the unbalance. So power diagram of capacitor supported and voltage sag, voltage shell, unbalanced voltage sag. Now coming to principal operation of DVR, the voltage is inserted such that the load voltage VLL is constant in magnitude and undistorted, so the supply voltage is not constant in magnitude or distorted. So this is typically a battery supported voltage source converter as a series compensator, and from source to lead you should be able to inject the voltage at even all the angle, but with the minimum current going to typically to critical load. And this is the way how really we can regulate the voltage. Like how we can help the even our typically this structure. So single line diagram of DVR, phasor diagram, DVR injection scheme. So we will the voltage across the critical load prior to the voltage sag compensation condition. During the sag, the voltage is reduced to Vs with a phase lag of angle of theta. Now the DVR inject the voltage so that the load voltage magnitude is maintained at the pre-sag condition. So according to the phase angle of the load voltage, the injection of voltage can be realized in 4 ways. So first one, VC1 represents the voltage injected in phase with the supply voltage. With the injection of VC2, the load voltage magnitude remains same, but it leads by Vs by small angle. So VC3, the load voltage retains the same phase as that of the pre-sag condition, which may be used an optimum angle considering the energy source at DC bus of the VSC used at DVR. So VC4 is the condition where the injected voltage is in quadrature with the current, and this is the case is suitable for capacitors of DVR. This injection involved no active power except small losses in DVR. So a minimum possible rating of the power converter is achieved by VC1, a voltage injected in phase with the supply voltage. Now coming to analysis and design of DVR. Design of DVR includes the voltage rating of VCR, current rating of VCR, curve rating of VCR, then the injection transformer rating, DC bus voltage, bus capacitance, then the typically AC interface inductance and ripple filter. Coming to design voltage rating, considering a voltage fluctuation of 20% plus and minus 30% with 6% voltage imbalance, we see the voltage in typically the voltage and a 3-phase for 15 years 20 kV critical load. So the voltage rating of the VSC of DVR depends on the maximum voltage to be injected in this condition of critical load. The maximum sag of the thermal voltage is obtained as VL equal to 39.6 into 0.7, that is 167.72. So considering the voltage fluctuations of between plus 20%, minus 20 and 6% overall bias in the PC and the 3-phase for 15 volt 50 Hz 20 kV critical load. The voltage rating of the VSC of DVR depends upon the maximum voltage to be injected in this condition of critical load. The maximum sag in the source terminal voltage is of 10 H, VL equal to 239.6 into 0.7, that is 167.72 volt. So this voltage have to be injected at the quadrature with the supply current in phase with the self-supported VSC DVR. Therefore, the injected voltage VDVR equal to root VSC square minus P, typically VL square, and putting a value it come 171.1 volt, considering the unity power factor of load. Now coming to design of current rating of VSC. So the current rating of DVR depends upon the load connected to the downstream of the DVR. So for a 20 kVA load, the current is calculated as root 3 VL base IL equal to 20,000, from which we get IL equal to 27.82, and current rating of DVR will be IL equal to 27.82 ampere. Now kVA rating of the VSC for DVR. The kVA rating of voltage source converter of DVR SVDR is calculated. SVDR is 3 VDVR I DVR. Putting value it comes 14,280 VA or 14.28 kVA. Now rating of injection transformer. Injection transformer is designed considering the optimum voltage level of the VSC, and the kVA rating of injection transformer is same as that of DVR rating, and is calculated as kVR equal to 3 VDVR ADVR upon 1000. So it comes like a 14.28 kV and equal to 550 volt divided by 170 volt. The voltage rating of secondary winding is considered as 50 volt. Now design of DC capacitor voltage of VSC of DVR. DC capacitor voltage selected based on the following. The VDC must be greater than 2 root 2 into VSC, and VSC voltage VSC is 50 volt. So value of the VDC is of 141.4 volt and a VDC of 150 volt in the selected of is selected for DVR. Design of DC capacitance of VSC of DVR. The DC bus capacitance is selected based on the transient energy required during the change in the load and calculated as half CD in bracket VDC square minus VDC 1 square 3 VCIS delta T, where delta is the time for which support system is required. So while considering delta T equal to 200 microsecond, VDC 150 volt, VDC 150 minus 5% of that is 142.5 volt. The DC link capacitance calculate putting the value. So it comes CD equal to 2603 microfarad, and DC bus of 3000 microfarad at 200 volt is selected for the DVR. Now come to design of interfacing inductor VSC. The interfacing inductor is selected based on the current ripple in the current of the DVR. So considering delta IS equal to 2%, M equal to 1 and overloading factor A equal to 1.2, the interfacing inductance is calculated as LR equal to N in bracket root 3 by 2 MVDC upon 6 SFS delta IS, and putting value from 0.948 millihenry. Hence the interfacing inductor 1 millihenry and 50 ampere in capacity is selected for DVR. So the ripple filter is designed for eliminating the switching frequency ripple from the injected voltage of VSC. The ripple filter, a combination of parameter capacitor CR and resistor R are connected in series, generally tuned at half the switching frequency, which calculates FR equal to half 1 2 pi RC RR and CR, F by 25,000 equal to 1 upon 2 pi RR CR, and then considering R F equal to 5 microwatt, C R it gives 6.37, so hence the RR equal to 5 microfarad, 5 ohm, and CR equal to 10 microfarad is selected to design the ripple filter for the switching frequency of 10 kHz. Now coming to control of DVR, the dynamic control, the synchronous reference frame theory, unit template, PI control theory, intrinsic active power theory, then PQ theory, intrinsic vertical component theory, neural based video drive LMS control theory, single page PQ theory, single page DQ theory, NSPLL based control, and adaptive directive algorithm, also known as adaptive interference cancelling theory, and many more. The frequency domain techniques are Fourier series theory, discrete Fourier transform theory, fast Fourier transform theory, recursive discrete Fourier theory, then Waldman filter based control algorithm, then the wavelet transformation based algorithm, Stockwell transformation algorithm, then the empirical decomposition theory, then Hilbert-Wang theory, and many more. Now coming to DVR control algorithm. The frequency domain control algorithm are used for a power quality monitoring for number of purposes in the power analyzer, power quality instrument, etc. And some of the frequency domain control algorithms have been used for control of DVR. So, however, these algorithms are sluggish and slow, requiring a heavy computational burden. Therefore, these control methods are not too much preferred for real-time control of DVR as compared to the time domain control algorithm. The frequency domain control algorithm are used for power quality monitoring for number of purposes in the power analyzer, power quality instrument, etc. So some of the frequency domain control algorithms have been used for control of DVR. However, these algorithms are sluggish and slow, requiring heavy computational burden. Therefore, those control methods are not too much preferred for real-time control of DVR as compared to time domain control algorithm. And this is typically your synchronous frequency band theory-based control algorithm of DVR with battery energy system. So we have a sense grid voltage, sense load voltage, and from which we get the EQ component of both. Then we add typically injected voltage into it. I mean, we derive the load reference voltage, we get the injected voltage. Then we have a reference injected voltage and typically the feedback voltage, so that we get the gating signal. So these are typically the control from step with VAS. So we get the amplitude of the load voltage and the unit vector we get from load voltage. Then we get reference load voltage. Then typically we convert actual quantity DQ voltage, DQ0, and then we calculate the compensating voltage VCD from VST minus VLD. Similarly, VSQ equal to VSQ minus ILSQ, and we are able to get the typically the VCD star equal to VLD star minus VLD. Similarly for B phase, C phase, and these voltage errors are fed to the reference and actual DVR are regulated using PI to PI controller like ED and EQ. And from, of course, we get the from DQ component we get the ABC voltage for injection, so DVR voltage and the sense DVR voltage are used to PWM controller to generate the gating signal for VSC of DVR. This is the SRFT based control of this self-supported DC bus. So here we can regulate the DC link voltage as well as terminal voltage, and we get the phase and template, and from which we are able to get a load voltage, and we sense the load voltage and we keep a load voltage control to regulate it. So this SRFT based, we get the component of both the component by using this D component, by AC and DCQ component of AC AC. We get the by low pass filter only AC component, and we have a loss component to be added along with that. So we get the quadrature loss component, and then we are able to get reference typically the PQ TQ voltage. Then we are able to get DQ reference voltage, the load reference voltage, and we have a typically error between the load voltage and the reference voltage are used to PWM controller to generate the gating pulses to voltage source converter. Now coming to modeling simulation of performance of DVR. During voltage check and 12, the performance of the DVR is demonstrated for 1550 F 10 kVA load under the different supply voltage disturbance conditions such as X12. We find to the voltage is created 5 cycle and L is created 5 cycle. Is observed that load voltage is regulated to constant W under the both check, and you can see how the load voltage are regulated. There is a voltage sag and 12 in the supply voltage, and accordingly compensate voltage adjust like. So for harmonic, during harmonic at point 2 the supply voltage is distorted in 5 cycle. The load voltage is maintained sinusoidal by injecting copper compensation voltage into the EVAR. So it is observed that the TID of load voltage is reduced to a level of 0.66 from PC voltage of 6.34. These are performance by distorted voltage. You can say balanced load voltage are there. However, the supply voltage are distorted and unbalanced. And these are the TID what you get typically from PC voltage, source current, and load voltage. Coming to performance of DVR at different voltage injection scheme. So the magnitude of the voltage injected by the DVR mitigating the same kinds of sag in the supply system with different angle of inject observed. The injected voltage supply current kV rating of the DVR in 4 injection scheme are given in table. So scheme 1 is the in phase, scheme 2 is the voltage injection is small angle 30 degree, voltage junction at angle 40 and the scheme is voltage junction with quadrature. And the required rating of the compensator for scheme 1 much less than the scheme 4. And these are typically the percentage wise of dVr. I mean for different kind of the scheme 1, 2, 3, 4. So a balanced sag of 30% applied to the supply voltage at 0.15 which occurs in for 5 cycles. So dVr inject the fundamental in series with the supply voltage. The load terminal is regulated at the rated value. This is the simulated performance. So you can say the load voltage is well regulated and load current also well regulated, where the high unbalance and distortion is there in the supply voltage. So typical performance of SRT capacitor based supported for voltage control conversion to balance swell of 30% supply at 0.12 second, which is occurs 5 cycles of AC main. So load voltage regulated at a rated value, which shows the satisfactory performance of dVr. So DC bus voltage is regulated at the reference value through the small fluctuation occurs during tangent. And then you can see how the load voltage is well regulated even with the distortion and unbalance. Now compensation of supply voltage unbalance. So three phase PCC voltage become unbalanced. So dVr inject the unequal terminal so that the load terminal voltage are remain. So the fundamental positive sequence of PC voltage extracted using SR theory, source current and zero terminal voltage and the zero and DC bus voltage demonstrate the effect of dVr. This you can see how the load voltage is regulated. So coming to compensation of supply voltage harmonic. So voltage at PCC is distributed by switching on and off the load in parallel to at PCC. The load terminal voltage is remained undistorted and constant in magnitude due to the injection of harmonic voltage by dVr. The load terminal voltage has a total harmonic distortion of 1.2% at the time of disturbance, and voltage PC has a TAD of 7.33%. So source current also have a TAD of 0.14%. And these are typically how the voltage are distorted and how the load voltage is regulated. And these are how your load voltage, how the PC voltage, and how the source current like. So you are able to get quite low TAD of your 1.2% of your supply voltage. Now coming to solved numerical examples. So example 1, in a 3-phase line voltage of 15 volt 50 Hz 4-wire distribution system, 3 single phase loads connected between phase and neutral, having a single phase thyristor based converter, drawing a 12 ampere constant DC current at a 60 degree fire angle, of which thyristor shown in figures and neutral inductor have a resistance of 0.2 ohm each. Calculate the A source current, B neutral current, losses in distribution system. Ideal for wire shunt compensator is used to compensate power factor to unity with each phase, and then calculate the AC supply MS current, neutral current, losses in distribution system, and rates of losses in distribution then without number. So these are typical case that we have a single phase thyristor converter between neutral and phase, and these are the voltage. Then the 3-phase, you can call it the supply current, and the neutral current, and then typically your load voltage and load current for one particular. So coming to solution, given the supply voltage PS equal to phase voltage come 415 by root 3 to 39.6 volt, we can see of supply 50 Hz, R is equal to 0.2 ohm, DC link current is 12 ampere, fire angle 60. So in a single phase thyristor based converter waveform, supply current is a square wave with amplitude of DC link current. The AC RMS current is I0 equal to 12 ampere. And neutral current is 12 ampere, since it will also square wave 3 times the fundamental. Losses in distribution system is PL loss equal to 3 IS square RS plus ISN square RS. So it comes 115.2 watt. So after the compensation, power factor is corrected to unity of AC mains by 4-wire shunt compensator, and 3-phase currents in AC mains become sinusoidal in phase with the phase voltage, and neutral current all becomes 0. So new supply current is RMS fundamental active power component IS equal to IL1A, that is IS1 cos phi, 12 into 0.9 into cos 30, that is 5.4 ampere. And in this case, after the compensation, 3-phase current mains are parallel, sinusoidal and neutral current becomes 0. That ISC losses in the distribution system are now 3 IC RS plus ISN square RS, 5.4 square 0.2 into 0.2, 0, so it becomes 17.496 watt. So ratio of losses without and without 115.2 divided by 17, so it becomes 6.584. It means that the such nonlinear load cause increased losses in the distribution system manifold as 6 times, as much as 6.584 4 times. Now coming to example 2, a single phase AC voltage control shown in the figure is used to control the heating of a packing element in a food vending machine at a power of 100 watt at 10 volt, fed from single phase AC means up to 30 amperes. Feeder conductor have a resistance of 0.2 ohm each. Calculate the AC RMS current. Losses in distribution system. If an ideal compensator is used to compensate the power factor unit, then the calculate the AC source RMS current, losses in distribution, and rates of losses. And so it's shown the figure here with the waveform how the typically the voltage load current is there. Coming to solution, given that Vs equal to 230 volt, 50 F equal to 50 Hz, power equal to 100 watt, Rs equal to 0.2 ohm, load resistance RL equal to VSL by P, so it comes 1 ohm, and the load power across the load VLS, voltage across the load is ISRL 10 volt, and supply current I is equal to PR root P upon RL, that becomes VLS upon RL, that's a 10 ampere. The losses in distribution system is PL equal to 2 ISA square RS, so putting value to 40 watt after compensation, power factor factor to unity remains, and the by shunt compensator. So current in the AC mains becomes sinusoidal in phase with that phase. So neutral supply current RMS active power compensator VSC equal P upon VS. So it's a 0.435 ampere, and losses in distribution system calculated 2 IC square. So it becomes 0.076, and ratio of losses without. So it is 40 upon 0.0. That is a 500 times, 529 times. So it means that losses in distribution as manifold as 529 times. Coming to example 3, a single phase load has a input voltage of 230 volt, 50 Hz, and base impedance of 6.9 ohm. It is to be realized as a unity power factor load on the AC supply system while maintaining the same rated load terminal voltage. Impedance voltage source, static series synchronous compensator shown in figure. Calculate the voltage rating of the compensator, current rating of the compensator, and the V rating of the compensator. This is a typical case how we are injecting the voltage in series, and you can see with the phase diagram as well as waveform. So solution is given that the supply voltage Vs 230 volt, we can see supply 50 Hz, the critical load is ZL equal to 5 minus J2 per unit, and the base impedance 6.9 per phase. The load resistance is RL equal to 5 into 6.9, 34.5 ohm, and reactance is 2 into 6.9, that is a 13.8 ohm. So total impedance is ZL equal to RL minus JX, that is Z at angle theta. So putting a value, it comes 37.15 at the angle minus 21.8 ohm. The load current before compensation IL equal to VL upon ZL, that becomes 6.19, and the magnitude of supply current under compensation is equal to the load current, hence IS equal to IL equal to 6.19. So as under the compensation, extra power, active power is pumped from the single phase supply. A battery energy storage system is required at the dislink of SSC to maintain the active power balance. So the series connected pendulum synchronous static compensator is used to improve the power factor of load at unity while maintaining the same rated voltage of 230 across the load. It means that under compensation, the load voltage lags the supply voltage by the load power factor angle, as the load current remains the same as that of earlier, but the load current is in phase with the supply voltage. The SSC must inject the voltage which is difference between the supply voltage and the load under compensation. Load voltage under compensation VL equal to VL at angle 38 minus angle 21.8 degree, and voltage rating of the compensator is VSC equal to VL minus VS. So putting a value, it comes 86.98 at the angle minus 100.90 volt. Since the load voltage magnitude and the load impedance is same, therefore the load current remains the same as without power factor correction. The current rating of compensator is given as IS equal to IL 6.19. The voltage rating is compensated VSC, so 86.98 into 6.19, so it becomes 538.4 VA. Now coming to example 4, a single phase AC supply has a AC voltage of 230 volt at 50 Hertz and feeder source impedance of 0.25 ohm resistance and 1.25 ohm inductive reactance. It is feeding a load of ZL1 equal to 20 plus J12 ohm. There is another load of ZL2 5 minus 4 ohm connected in parallel to the 20 cycle of AC main. Calculate the voltage actual across the first load in the steady state condition if the self-supported AC was base PWM. VSC is employed as a triple SC in series with the load to maintain the terminal voltage to the same as input voltage. Calculate the line current, K voltage and KV rating of the series compensator in both cases. So these are the different cases, like a circuit diagram when load 2 is constant, then the Thevenin current and D phasor diagram. And these are the waveform simulated. Coming to the solution, given that the supply voltage Vs equal to 230 volt, frequency of supply 50 Hz, 2 single phase load ZL1 equal to 20 per J12, Z23 at the point 32 at the angle 30.96 degree, and ZL2 equal to 5 minus 4 ohm, 5 minus J4 ohm, that is 6.4 at the minus degree 38.65. We have the input voltage to supply impedance. This at the 1.27, 78.69. The current circuit diagram of the system is shown in the figure. Various circuit calculation before compensation is total impedance is ZT, ZS plus ZL1 into ZL2 parallel. Putting a value comes 5.51 at the angle minus 12.49 ohm. The load current before compensation is IL equal to Vs upon ZT, that is 41.74 at the angle of 12.49 degree ampere. The supply current same as the load current, hence Is equal to IL 41.74 at the angle of 12.9 degree ampere. The voltage drop across the source impedance is VZS equal to Zs into Is. Putting a value, it comes 53.50 at the angle of 91.18 degree volt. So voltage across the load terminal is VHZL equal to ZL into IL. So putting a value, it comes like your 237.11 at the angle minus 12.94 degree volt. The given system configuration can be simplified using Thevenin equivalent circuit of TC. The value of Thevenin voltage and impedance is TH equal to Vs into VL2 upon VZS into ZL plus Z. So it comes 248.49 at the angle minus 11.01 degree volt, and ZTH equal to Zs in parallel with the ZL2 comes like a 1.38 at the angle of 69.90 angle. So for simplicity of the system, VTH is considered as a reference, and the series connected PWM synchronous steady compensator is used to decrease the load terminal voltage to the same as that of 230 volt. The SSC consists of VSC with self-supported DC link. Hence, the SSC can inject only the reactive power into the system. So SSC inject the voltage in quadrature with the load current. The load current after compensation IL dash equal to VL dash upon Z, that is 9.86 ampere, and active power balance is V Thevenin IL dash into cos theta equal to IL dash square RTH plus IL dash square RL. So on solving the above equation for angle beta, it results in beta equal to 35.48 degree, and load current lacks the Thevenin equivalent by angle beta, and that is equal to IL dash at angle beta equal to 9.86 at the angle minus 35.48 degree ampere. The PCC voltage is estimated as VTH dash equal to VTH minus ZTH IL dash. So it comes typically your 237.1 at the angle minus 1.76 degree. So SSC absorbs the reactive power from the system to decrease the load voltage to 230. Therefore, the reactive power balance is given as VTH IL dash sin beta equal to IS del square ITH IS IL dash square XL1 plus IL dash into VSSC. So on substituting the value of circuit parameter, it results in 24.89 to 9.8 sin, that becomes 9.86 square into 1.28 plus 9.86 square into 12 into 9.86 into VSC. So solving this equation, VSC, it comes 13.27 volt. So the voltage rating of compensator is VSC equal to 13.27 volt. Current rating of the compensator is IS equal to IL dash equal to 9.86. Since connect series with the load, V rating is your VSC IS, that is 130.92 A. Coming to example 5, 3-phase data connected load ZLD equal to 7 plus 3 per unit per phase has a input AC line voltage of 415 volt 50 Hz, AC supply and base impedance of 4.15 ohm. It is also relies at unity power factor load on AC supply system on AC system while maintaining the same rated terminal voltage being built on base SSC. Calculate the voltage rating of compensator, current rating of the compensator, and the V rating of the compensator. So this is the circuit diagram how the capacitor is connected and the phasor diagram. Load voltage equal to phase and typically supply voltage, and you have a simulative waveform. Coming to the solution, given that the supply magnitude of voltage per phase Vs equal to 415 by root 3 39.6 volt, frequency of supply 50 Hz, 3 phase delta connected load ZL equal to 37 plus J3 per unit has the input voltage of 50 Hz and base impedance 4.1 ohm. Those load impedances are RL equal to 7 into 4.15, that is 29.05 ohm. The load reactance is XL equal to 3 into 4.15, that is 12.45 ohm. This load is delta connected to the supply system. For per phase calculation, the equivalent load per phase is at ZLY equal to ZLD upon 3. So that is, you can call it comes 10.53 at the angle of 23.2 degree ohm, and load current before compensation is IL equal to IS equal to VL upon IL. That becomes 22.74 ampere. So the series connected PWM static series compensator is used to improve the power factor of the load to unity while maintaining the same voltage of 239.6 volt per phase across the load. It means that now the load voltage must lead the source voltage by a load factor angle. So the magnitude of load current remains the same as the earlier, whereas the phase angle of the load current is same as the supply. Under the power factor correction, SSC inject the voltage difference between the supply under the compensation and extractive power from the three-phase supply. A battery energy storage is required at the reheating of the load voltage compensation VL equal to VL at the angle theta 39.23.2. Voltage rating of the compensator is VLA minus VSA. The putting value comes 96.3 at the angle of 101.6 degree volt. At the system is symmetrical system. The magnitude of injected voltage remains same as all the three-phase voltage. So since the load voltage magnitude and the load impedance are same, therefore the load current remains the same as without any power factor, and the containing the IL is equal to 22.74 and VSC 3 VSC ISC, that is putting value 6573 VA. Now coming to example 6, a single phase load Z equal to 2.5 plus J1.2 per unit has input voltage of 20 volt 50 Hz, AC supply and base impedance 9.15 ohm per phase. It is also realized that T unity power factor load and AC supply using PWM base stat can calculate the value of compensator current, B rating, supply current, and equivalent resistance in ohm of the compensator. You can see the circuit how it look like. Typically the load with the compensation, reactive power compensation. Coming to the solution, given that the supply voltage Vs equal to 20 volt, frequency of F equal to 50 Hz, and single phase load Z equal to 2.5 plus J1.4 with the base impedance 9.5. The load resistance is comes to 22.875 ohm, and load reactance comes around 11.44 ohm. The load impedance comes under root R square plus X square 25.575 ohm. The load current before the compensation is I sold equal to V upon Z, that's 8.6. Compensation current is I old sin theta, that comes here 3.875 ampere. The V rating of compensator as VS become 846.34 VA. The supply current after the compensation is S equal to 7.692 ampere. Equivalent resistance is of R equal to V upon IS, that's 28.6 ohm. Coming to example 7, a 3-phase 3-wire T-STATCOM is applied at a 415 volt 50 Hz system is used to provide the reactive power compensation for unity power factor of 3-phase delta connected 15 kilowatt induction mode operating at 0.8 lagging power factor low. Calculate the supply line current, B equivalent per phase resistance in ohms of the compensator load, C T-STATCOM current, D is the kV rating, and E the interfacing inductance, F is the DC bus capacitance for the T-STATCOM wire. Switching frequency is 2.5 kHz and DC bus voltage 700 volt. And it has to be controlled within 5% range of, and ripple current inductor is 12%. This is typically the diagram that is feeding inductor motor, and the STATCOM is used for the compensation of reactive power. Coming to the solution, given that the Vs equal to 415 by root 3 to 39.6 volt, F equal to 50 Hz, a 3-phase delta connected 15 kilowatt induction motor operating 0.8 lagging power factor. The frequency is 2.5 kHz, DC bus 700 volt, 5% range, and ripple current is inductor 12%, M equal modulation inductor 1, VDH CST 700 volt, A equal to 1.5 equal to 0.5 kilowatt, delta ST 12%, that is 1.875, VDCST equal to 5, तो 665, तो IS sold is P upon PF equal to 15, so it's a 26.08 5 ampere. The supply current after the compression IS nu equal to IS volt cos theta, that comes 20.868 ampere. The equivalent resistance comes R equal to VSI, that comes 11.48, and the STATCOM current is sin theta, it comes 15.651 ampere, and VA rating of the VST DST comes 11.25 kVA. The interfacing inductance is LST under root 3 by 2 MA VST upon 6A. Delta ST 17.93 millihenry, and DC was capacitance of the chain. So from energy change formula, we get the typical capacitance CDC equal to 4709.558 microfarad. Now coming to example 8, a 3-phase 4-wire unbalanced load having a Z equal to 3.3 plus J2 per unit connected between phase and neutral terminal platform AC supply with the input line voltage for 50 Hz, base impedance 9.5 as shown in figure. It is U to be realized as a balanced unity perfect load on the 3-phase supply current using a 4 lag voltage source D STAT. Calculate the supply line current, D STATCOM line current, its neutral current, and its kVA rating and equivalent per phase resistance of compensation load. So the typical case where you have a single phase load connected with line to neutral, and we have a 4 lag VSC for compensation and the waveform for compensation. We get unity power factor and all the parameters in wave. Coming to solution, given the supply phase voltage for 15 by root 3 39.6 volt, you can see of like 50 Hz single phase load of ZL equal to 3 plus J per unit. Connect load with the base impedance 9.15. So load impedance per phase is ZL equal to 32.99 at the angle 33.69 at 27.45 plus J 18.3, and load current is before compensation IL equal to 39.6 divided by 32 and becomes 7.26 at the angle minus 33.69 degree ampere. Total power is PL equal to IL square RL, it comes 1446.8 watt. Supply line current after compensation IS equal to PL upon 3 VS angle, so SP similarly, so we get the putting a value, it comes here IS equal to 2.01 ampere, ISB equal to 2.0 at minus 20, IC 3-phase D STATCOM current IC equal to IL minus ISC, that is 7.2, so it comes 5.69 ampere at the minus 45 degree, ISC equal to ILB minus SB, so that is minus 2.01 at the angle minus 120. So ICC equal LC minus SC, so that becomes 2.01 at the angle minus 60 degree ampere. Load neutral current or D STATCOM current is ILN equal to minus ICN. So it is ICA plus ICBA plus IC minus 7.26 at the angle of 146.0 degree ampere. And D STATCOM VA rating VS ISCA VS into ICA plus ICB IC plus VS ICM. So it putting a value, it comes 4.066 kVA. Equivalent per phase resistance of the load connected REQ 3 VS square upon PL, putting value, it comes 119.03 ohm. Coming to example 9, a 3-phase self-accelerated induction generator, 400 volt, 22 kilowatt, 50 or 6 volt data connected squirrel cage induction generator needs excitation of 9.38 kVAr at no load and 15.57 kVAr at unit power factor load, full load, as shown in figure. A pendulum based STATCOM is used for meeting the reactive power requirement of this induction generator. Considering fixed capacitor rating equal to the no load excitation of kVAr, calculate the kVAr rating of the STATCOM line current at no load unity power factor, full load 20 kilowatt, 0.8 lagging power factor load of 20 kilowatt and 0.8 lagging 22 kilowatt. If fixed capacitor bank is used to reducing the rating of the STATCOM, and the resistance used for smooth control of voltage at VW, then calculate the reduced rating of the STATCOM and a line current at different load conditions. So this is a typical case where you have a squirrel cage induction generator with the typical capacitor bank, and here we have the STATCOM with compensation of the load. That is the simulated performance. So coming to the solution, given that a 3-phase self-accelerated 400 volt 3-phase data is given, so no load QC equal 9.38, that no load kVAr rating of D STATCOM is QST Q0 minus QC, that is 0 kVAr. Line current of D STATCOM is IC equal to, so you can find out 0. For unit power factor load 20 kilowatt, kVAr rating of the D STATCOM is Q QC, so it comes here 6.1 kVAr, and line current of D strand IC QST upon root 3 L come 8.93 ampere. So now coming to second case of 4.8 lagging power factor full load, 0.22 kVAr rating of the registered from QST QFL plus load minus the QC, so putting value comes 22.69 kVAr. The line current of the QST upon root 3 L comes 32.75 ampere. 4.8 leading power factor full load, the kVAr rating of the system of QFL plus Q load minus QC, so it comes minus 10.31 kVAr. The negative sign denotes that DC STATCOM has to provide the lagging reactive power to maintain unity power. So line current of the system goes IC equal to QST upon root 3 PS, so it comes 14.88 ampere. So induced rating STATCOM based altogether, the DC STATCOM can work in leading and lagging reactive power mode depending upon the extent load. DC rating can be reduced by using appropriate AC a capacitor at the induction terminal to cover the total range of operation. So in the most of the cases, it's half the required rating other than no load can be selected as the rating of the STATCOM, and full load reactive power rating is selected the rating of AC capacitor. At no load the STATCOM work as an inductor, and at full load it work as a for unit power factor load 20 kV, the kV rating of the STATCOM Q is equal to QFL minus Q0 by 2, that becomes 3.09 kV in the capacitor rating QC upon Q0, and so it comes typical 12.47 kVAr. At no load the STATCOM to provide 3. Lagging reactive power. At full load the STATCOM provides the 3.09 kVAr leading reactive power to the generator system. To line current of the system QST upon 4.467 ampere. 4.8 lagging power factor load of 21, so kV rating of the system QST upon QFL minus plus Q load minus Q0 by 2, so that comes 11.345 kVAr. Since the capacitor rating is QC equal to Q0 plus, that is typically 120.7 kVAr. At no load the STATCOM is powered the load lagging reactive power. At full load the STATCOM powered 11.4 leading reactive power, so line current of the STATCOM is Q on this, so it comes to 16.39, and 4.8 leading power factor load of full load 20 at 220 kW, so kV rating with the system QST equal to QFL plus QL minus Q0 by 2, that's 5.155 kVAr. So the STATCOM rating is 5. Required rating capacitor is Q0, that is 4.4225 kVAr, and therefore at no load the STATCOM will provide 5.155 kVAr leading reactive power, and at full load the STATCOM is to provide 5 lagging reactive power to the generator. So line current of the STATCOM is QST upon root 3 PS, that comes to 7.44 ampere. Now coming to example 10, a STATCOM with 660 volt battery at the DC side of the VSC is connected to isolated 3-phase 3-wire for 15 volt 75 kV diesel generating set system as shown in figure. This DC set is controlled such that the load on the system remains always between 80% to 100% to improve the efficiency of the DC system. There is a load setting provision if the load increases above 125%. If the load is below 30%, the battery charging takes place. If the load is beyond 80-100%, discharging of the battery takes place, and in between 80 to 100% load, battery remains in floating condition. So calculate the whatever rating of the battery, current rating of the battery, if the load of backup of 4 hours is required jar. Moreover, the calculate the kV rating of the D STATCOM, the voltage rating of the STATCOM, the current rating of the STATCOM. If the maximum load is 125% of active power of 175 kW at 0.8 power factor. This is a typical diagram that you have a 75 kVA DC system with, and then you have a D STATCOM with the battery on DC with the load, and these are the typical simulated equipment. Coming to the solution, given that the D STATCOM with 660 volt battery at the DC side of the VSC is connected to an isolated 3-phase 3-wire for 15 volt 75 kVA DC engine generating set, the whatever rating of battery calculated for our backup at the E equal to percentage of load PS, that comes 75 kilowatt hour. Since the battery is required to feed 25% of load active power, the battery current is IB equal to E upon VB into S, so it comes 28.41 ampere. The active power through the STATCOM is 25% of load, that's 18.75 kilowatt, and PT comes 93.75 kilowatt. The reactive power of the STATCOM is QST to PT upon P, 101 upon power factor square, so it becomes 75.3125 kVAr. So kV rating of the STATCOM is your 100 PST square plus QST is 72.769 kVA. Voltage rating of the STATCOM is 415 to 30, and current rating is for ST upon 3 VST, so it comes to 101.24 ampere. These are the references which are used to develop this lecture. And thank you.